Hey everybody. So thank you for joining me. I wanted to try something a little different with the ink swatching. And I'm going to, in the more section down below, I'm going to include a link to Jennifer McGuire. She has a link for a download. It's free where you can create your own ink swatches. Okay. And I've already typed in my inks and who they were by because they're the next ones I'm going to work on, which is the Lisa Horton inks. And I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share a screen with you for a little bit and show you how I basically filled it in. Now, in doing these for Lisa Horton, I decided, remember in our book when I did the 49 and Market, and I was like, I don't like how that looks. I really don't. I tried to just be like, deal with it. It'll be okay. I want them to look like this. And even though on this one the words are up at the top and on Jennifer McGuire's they're down at the bottom, that part isn't what bothers me. I want it to fill the square. You see what I'm saying? Whereas these are more, they're just too wide. They're just too wide. There's too much open space where you can see through. So we're gonna redo these as well. Now I'm not gonna re-stamp them all on camera with you today. That's not what today is about. I want to show you this screen. So this screen is basically the form that you get from Jennifer McGuire, and it usually shows like we're on the Pink Sands and 49 and Market where I have that is usually it's like untitled or name, like it's generic words, okay, but it shows you where to put basically the name of the ink itself, and then who the ink is by goes underneath is how it's set up. And what I like about this is you see all these lines. This is where you're going to be cutting. So if you cut straight across here and then down here, right, you're going to have your 3 2x2 squares, basically. So usually what I do is I wind up cutting everything first, and then I just go through and stamp, on the individual pieces. You can do it that way. You can stamp if you want, and then, do all your cutting. I like to do the cutting only because then I know exactly where I can stamp my image to go with, where we're putting that stamped moment, so that way you don't run the risk of cutting it off by accident, right? You go too far to the right and you're cutting off part of your uh, stamped image. So that part. So I just wanted to show you, I wonder if it'll let me, hold on. I was trying to go back over to it real quick where I can see it myself. Okay, so if you scroll down, you can get, I think it's 15. Is it 15 of them? Yeah, it's 6. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 6 is 12, and then these 3. Yeah, so you can get 15 ink swatches on one page. So obviously, if you're doing a large collection like the Tim Holtz or things like that, it's going to take you multiple of these to get through 72 of them, right? But like I said, this is something that obviously you're not going to complete in a day. This is something that's going to continue to grow. Oh, and actually, it's all right here. Her website and everything is here on the side that we're looking. But I'm also, like I said, I'll just put a link myself right in the center or right in the more part um, of the video description. Okay. So this is the page that I use to create this page that I'm showing you here. Except obviously these were when I did my Lisa Horton inks, which we're going to be doing up shortly. Okay. And like I said, I like this method. I've used this multiple times when using my big sheet. Here it is. I was like, where did I put it? When I did these with my favorite things, the hybrid inks, my Primas, my Simon Says, stamp inks, Stampin' Up. So I've used these multiple times, so I know cutting it according to how she has it set up, it's going to give me the exact look I want. You see, I did it with all my distress inks, which I have to go back and do the newest inks, like what's the ones? Lost Shadow, those last few Scorched Timber, stuff like that. So I still haven't done those yet, but that is the plan. Okay. So I just want to share this with you. I think this is a great find. A lot of times people ask, how do you get it set up? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to share it because Jennifer McGuire created it. I give her all the praise because she made it so easy for us. All we have to do is change the words and you can just keep printing this out and using it and you'll have one consistent look for your swatches. Okay. If you don't like the hexagon that I'm using, then use hearts, use stars, use snowflakes, use whatever you want. You know what I mean? The idea is that you just want to be able to see at a glance your inks, the colors that you have, what you need to use if you needed to use it. Okay. So that's why for me, I think it's important that I switch this out because this does not make me happy like these do when they're all filled in. So we're going to switch it. Okay. So real quick, while we're still working here, I actually wound up having to reprint this because I put the what was it? This wrong. So on Lisa Horton's inks, they're all Cloud9. But these particular 4 that I have are color shifting. So instead of putting Cloud9, I put CS at the end to indicate for color shifting. So that way I know which inks they are, even though they're Lisa Horton. Make sense? So that's why I did that. Now, if I wanted to, I could have done like MP to make it a metallic pigment, because that's what that is for the C9 ones, but I just labeled them C9 because these were my originals. So to me, these are like the OGs that I got, the first set that I got. So it made sense for this one to do the color shift because that is the key, that they have these. It's a matte finish and it has a shimmer. So it's like a dual functioning ink. Okay. So I'm going to show you real quick how to cut this up. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So for me, I always liked doing my horizontal lines first, but I do not go all the way across. That is key. So we line up our lines and we go to where we know we're past this line, but not all the way to the end. Okay, same thing with the next one. Sorry, my phone is going crazy. Of course, I'm getting like 100 messages while I'm trying to do a live like recording video. It would have to be that way, right? All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. Because this is to me the best way to cut these. So when you get it, you'll have an example to like kind of follow. Because if you go right down the vertical lines, then you lose your guides. Okay. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So then we go here and again. So now we turn it sideways. And we're going to line up, because there's lines on here. There's supposed to be a line up there as well. But what I'm going to do is just make sure that everything is lining up, because it's every 2 inches. And it is. We're just going to scooch it up a little bit more. Now they're more on point. Yes. And then we're going to go and cut through. So now we take these little bits off. Okay, slide it down, line it up. And make sure everything's looking pretty even, which I think it is. All right, and line. And then you have your pieces. And now we can stamp our colors and fill in our squares, and everything should be perfectly even. Next, we're going to do the same thing again. Lining everything up, trying to make sure it's all even. Okay. Just trying to make sure all my stuff is good. And then let's do this again. And then one last time, we line up this thing. You guys, like, I really can't plan this. Like, seriously, line it up on 1.5. It's all even. And then, whoop. So this is actually too long. I cut it off at the wrong spot. It's okay. So all we're going to do is just measure and then trim. I was thinking I was going too far, but I was like, wait a minute. That don't look right. Because you don't normally see the arrows. I went to the wrong spot of the arrows to cut. But that was just my fault. But we know it's 2 by 2. So this doesn't make it feel weird. Okay. But that was pretty simple considering, you know. Well, I'll save this out for one more showing. That way, if you wanted to pause the video, I'm going to hold it up again. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go. And then all you have to do is get your stamp, your inks, and then you are ready to go to get your swatches done and then get your book filled up. Okay. So that one sheet, we were able to get all of our ink swatches and we're good to go. And again, I'm going to hold it up. The 2 ink sample squares, edible. And then I said edible like it's eatable, but it's not eatable. It's editable. But there's her website, Jennifer McGuire Inc.com. And the actual link to this exact download will be down in the more section. Okay. So thank you guys for coming on this journey with me with the inking. I still have a lot more that I want to get done as far as the actual ink swatches. Then we can start looking at maybe some ways of decorating the book. Okay. But I don't want to decorate the fronts and the cover. well, the front of each section or the cover until I'm done. Okay. So thank you guys. Have a great day. And I will see you with our next video. Make sure to hit the like button, the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys with our next video, which if it's not this Wednesday, it'll be Friday for sure. Fridays, I always try to have a video, whether it be card making or layouts. And then, of course, I've been enjoying my Tuesday technique videos. And if it's a technique that I can do in a project and finish it off the next day, that's when you get the Wednesday video. Okay. All right, y'all. You have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.